Someone the other day was asking me about game design documents, and I kind of struggled with an answer, and I didn't have a good answer. And I was talking with a friend last night, a friend I had beers with, about design and stuff, and he's a senior developer as well, and made a lot of great games, really smart guy. And the realization is neither one of us know what the fuck a game design document is. We've never made one, really. It's just not how our brain works, and I don't think it's a good way to make games, honestly. I mean, you want to have some, like, set of, we call pillars, right? Like, this is the kind of game we're making. You want to have some so everybody's on the same page, and you can argue about those pillars. But really, it's like, hey, here's where we're starting, and here's where we want to go. We want to make a 4-player co-op game that's about experience and not difficulty. The reason for that is, the minute you put something in the game, you learn a whole bunch of stuff. And what you should always be striving to do is try to get your ideas in as quick as possible. Now, sometimes that means you're going to, again, time box, I said the other day, like, we're going to say, like, hey, we're going to experiment with melee weapons, for instance, for Left 4 Dead 2. And we're going to do it in the month of February and March. And if we don't find something good by then, we're going to cut them and we're going to move on to something else. So, like, you have ideas and you have things you're going to try, and they don't get in right away because of scheduling. But your basic ideas is you want to get in, you want to test them, you want to get feedback, because every time you put something in the game, you learn something. You're like, oh, that's a bad idea. That's actually not the cool thing I thought it would be. Oh, that did not bring up the decisions that I was hoping I was going to have to make. Instead, it just felt frustrating. Now, sometimes, to avoid shallowness, you have to say, hey, but when we fill this out a little bit more, it should feel better. Or, hey, when there's more of these, it's going to feel more strategic. When there's fewer of them, it feels more puzzly. That's a really common thing with, like, big matrix stuff, right? Where there's the exact way to do it, only exists in the prototype, and then as you add stuff to it, you get more flavors of it. And so, don't ask me about game design documents. That's one way to make games, and I'm sure that's a great way for some companies to make games, but it's not the way that I've made games, or a lot of other people make games, and so we make them up when asked for them. It's kind of like projections on sales, and somebody asks me about projections on sales. I'm like, point me to the chart you want to see, and I will put it in my slide deck, because what the real projections are going to be, right? And so who knows what the game is going to be until you put the stuff in there, you start making it, and you start building it. So the tools today are so great about jumping in quick and prototyping, either Unity or Unreal. And so just jump in and prototype and start there. But, have here's where we're going, and here's the goals, and here's kind of the pillars. It's about co-op. It's about working together. Like, that's my game design document. It could fit on, like, a OneNote card. Hope that helps or messes you up even further as you don't know what to do, or I'm just giving you really bad advice, maybe. I don't know.